Have you ever wondered what would happen if money didn't need banks? If we didn't have to trust governments or giant financial institutions with our hard-earned cash? This isn't a fantasy. It's the idea that launched a global revolution. In 2008, as the world's financial system was crumbling, an anonymous figure known only as Satoshi Nakamoto published a document that would change money forever. This was the birth of Bitcoin, the world's very first cryptocurrency. But how did this idea come to be? Why did someone or some group decide to challenge centuries of traditional finance? Today we're diving deep into the origin of cryptocurrency. We'll explore how a perfect storm of computer science, cryptography, and a deep-seated distrust in big institutions gave birth to a financial rebellion. This isn't just about money, it's about a new era of digital freedom. To truly understand why Bitcoin was created, we have to go back to 2008. The world was in the grips of a devastating financial crisis. Big banks, once seen as pillars of stability, had engaged in reckless practices, leading to a massive collapse. People lost their homes, their savings, their jobs. Trust in the system was shattered. We all felt a sense of helplessness as governments bailed out the very institutions that had caused the problem, leaving ordinary people to pay the price. It was in this climate of chaos and distrust that the idea for a new kind of money began to take shape. Someone, somewhere was watching this unfold and thought, there has to be a better way. A way to have a financial system that isn't controlled by a few powerful entities. A system that is transparent, fair, and belongs to everyone. This thinking wasn't entirely new. For decades, a group of computer scientists and activists known as cypherpunks had been dreaming of a digital currency. They believed that cryptography, the science of secure communication, could be the key to creating a form of money that was private, secure, and free from government control. They experimented with various ideas like DigiCash and BitGold, but they all struggled with a fundamental problem: the double spending issue. How could you prevent someone from spending the same digital coin twice without a central authority like a bank to keep track of everything? It was a puzzle that seemed unsolvable. But then, on October 31st, 2008, an email appeared in a small cryptography mailing list. It was from Satoshi Nakamoto, and it contained a link to a 9-page white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This paper didn't just propose a solution to the double spending problem, it laid out the blueprint for an entirely new financial world. So what was Satoshi's brilliant solution? It was a revolutionary technology called the blockchain. Imagine a digital ledger like a giant public accounting book, but instead of being held by one person or one bank, this ledger is distributed across a massive network of computers all around the world. Every time a transaction happens, say, Alice sends 1 Bitcoin to Bob, it's broadcast to this network. The computers on the network, known as nodes, work together to verify that the transaction is legitimate. Once verified, the transaction is bundled into a block, along with other recent transactions. This new block is then cryptographically linked to the previous block, creating a chain of blocks, a blockchain. This chain is permanent and unchangeable. To alter a single transaction, you'd have to alter every single block that came after it across thousands of computers simultaneously, which is practically impossible. This made the system incredibly secure and, most importantly, trustless. You don't have to trust a bank or a government. You just have to trust the code and the network. On January 3rd, 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto brought this theory to life. He mined the very first block of the Bitcoin blockchain, a block now famously known as the Genesis block. But Satoshi didn't just start the network, he left a powerful, hidden message embedded in the code of that first block. It was a headline from the British newspaper, The Times, which read, The Times Z03 your Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This wasn't just a random piece of text. It was a timestamp proving the network wasn't created before that date and a political statement. It was a direct jab at the failing centralized financial system, a declaration that Bitcoin was created as an alternative, a solution born from the ashes of the 2008 crisis. It was the digital equivalent of nailing a protest note to the door of the global banking system. This small line of text forever cemented Bitcoin's identity as a project with a purpose, a rebellion against the status quo. But who keeps this network running? Who validates all these transactions and adds new blocks to the chain? This is where mining comes in. Bitcoin miners are the backbone of the network. They use powerful computers to solve complex mathematical puzzles. The first miner to solve the puzzle gets the right to add the next block to the blockchain. As a reward for their work and the electricity they've used, they are given a certain amount of brand new Bitcoins. This process serves two crucial purposes. First, it's how new Bitcoins are created and enter circulation, much like a central bank printing new money, but in a predictable and controlled way. The total supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million, so it can't be endlessly inflated. Second, and more importantly, this competition to solve the puzzle is what secures the network. It makes it incredibly difficult and expensive for any single person to gain control and manipulate the blockchain. This process of mining is what makes Bitcoin truly decentralized. There is no CEO, no head office, no single point of failure. It's a global, self-sustaining ecosystem run by anyone who chooses to participate. In the early days, Bitcoin was a niche interest, known only to a small community of cryptographers, coders, and tech enthusiasts. The value of one Bitcoin was practically zero. The first real-world transaction famously took place in 2010 when a programmer named Laszlo Hanyecz paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. At today's prices, that would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. As more people started to learn about Bitcoin, its value began to rise. People were captivated by the idea of a currency that was outside the control of any government or bank. It represented a new kind of financial freedom, but the innovation didn't stop with Bitcoin. Developers saw the potential of blockchain technology and started to build on Satoshi's idea. Soon new cryptocurrencies, often called altcoins, began to emerge. In 2011, Litecoin was created as a silver to Bitcoin's gold, promising faster transaction times. Then came Ripple, focused on helping banks and financial institutions transfer money across borders more efficiently. But the next giant leap forward came in 2015 with the launch of Ethereum. Ethereum's creator, Vitalik Buterin, realized the blockchain could be used for more than just sending money. He envisioned it as a global, decentralized computer that could run applications. Ethereum introduced the concept of the smart contracts, self-executing contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into code. This unlocked a world of possibilities. Suddenly, you could build decentralized versions of almost anything: social media, voting systems, insurance, and entire financial platforms. This was the birth of decentralized finance, or DeFi. DeFi aims to rebuild the entire financial system, lending, borrowing, trading on the blockchain, without the need for traditional middlemen. The crypto revolution was no longer just about creating a new currency. It was about building a whole new internet, a Web3. What started as a white paper published in the midst of a financial crisis has now blossomed into a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Today, cryptocurrency is part of the global conversation. It's discussed in boardrooms, on the news, and at family dinner tables. The core idea, a decentralized, transparent, and user-controlled system of value, has expanded far beyond just digital cash. We now have NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, which are changing how we think about ownership of digital art and collectibles. We have DeFi platforms managing billions of dollars in assets, offering services that were once the exclusive domain of big banks. And we have thousands of different cryptocurrencies, each aiming to solve a different problem. The journey from the Genesis block to today has been wild, volatile, and full of debate. But one thing is undeniable. Satoshi Nakamoto's idea has fundamentally challenged our understanding of money, trust, and power. The legacy of Bitcoin and the birth of cryptocurrency is about more than just technology or finance. It's a story about a powerful idea taking hold at the right moment in history. It's a story of challenging the old guard and daring to build something new from the ground up. Whether you see crypto as the future of money or a risky experiment, its impact is undeniable. It has forced a global conversation about the nature of our financial systems and has inspired a new generation of builders, thinkers, and innovators to imagine a more decentralized, open, and equitable world. The revolution that started with a single white paper is still unfolding, and its final chapter is yet to be written. What do you think is the biggest impact of cryptocurrency? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the history of cryptocurrency. It's a fascinating story that continues to evolve every single day. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to learn more about the technologies and ideas shaping our future, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more content just like this. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.